Hi, this is ASI TV. We're here with Chris Gomez, a former Navy SEAL turned success consultant with Afterburner. Chris just delivered a dynamite keynote speech here at the ASI Show Dallas. And Chris, as part of that talk, you talked a lot about the importance of experiencing adversity, experiencing failure, and overcoming it. Why is that so important to victory and success?
It's so true, and it's something that I learned as a SEAL, that there's absolutely going to be adversity that everybody's going to face, and that's one of the main takeaways, is that everyone in the audience can certainly relate to adversity and failure, because oftentimes people don't think that people think success is very binary. It's you're either going to succeed or you're going to fail, and that's absolutely not true. It's through that adversity you're going to hit those fast failures. We like to talk about fast failures because it's all about iterating, learning from your mistakes, so you can get better each and every time you execute.
Gotcha. All right. Now, you talked a lot about the flawless execution cycle. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and how it helps breed success?
Absolutely. The flawless execution cycle is very simple because it has to be simple. As a SEAL, we had to rely on these very simple models because you can't continue to add complexity on top of complexity. We all work in a complex environment. And so it's very simple. It just is plan, brief, execute, debrief. It's the cycle that we went through in the SEAL teams. We had to go plan a mission. We had to brief the mission to all those that were going to be out and executing that mission. Then we had to execute and make sure that we were always alert for task saturation. And finally, as soon as the mission's over, we had to debrief. Debrief was the most important aspect of that cycle because we take those lessons learned from that debrief and just insert them right into the next plan, making it better and tighter. And that's how we win.
Now, you mentioned in there task saturation. Can you talk a little bit about what that is, how fatal it can be, and how to overcome it?
Certainly, yeah. Task saturation is, again, the perception or reality of having too much to do without enough time, tools, or resources to get that job done. And so task saturation affects every single one of us, but more importantly, it affects us by channelizing. And channelized attention is the deadly form of task saturation, in that you get so channelized and fixated on one thing to the detriment of everything else around us, and then that causes lots of issues, both at home, at the job, and anywhere else. Just like I could imagine, if you're sitting at home and all you're thinking about is work, you're so task saturated with what's going on, I'm sure your home life's not going to be very great either.
Gotcha. So how do you overcome that task saturation?
So the way we talk about task saturation, we talk about mutual support, which is very important. You have to be able to have somebody that recognizes that you're feeling task saturated. We talk about utilizing cross checks, meaning you always think about, maybe you break things down into the 7 or 6 most important things that you must achieve day in and day out. And so once you break those 6 things out, you can shed all the other tasks, focus on those until you get through those dire periods of task saturation.
Awesome stuff. This is Chris Gomez, American hero, retired Navy SEAL. Chris, thanks so much for being with us.
Absolutely. Certainly not a hero, I'll tell you that much. Thank you.
All right.